Want to lead others effectively? It all starts with leading yourself first. Today, I'll break down why self-leadership is the key to being the kind of leader people want to follow. When I was just beginning my career, I worked for a leader who saw potential in me. Fresh out of college, I was given the opportunity to step right away into a leadership role. But that first year, I struggled. And I mean, I really struggled. I couldn't seem to build buy-in with my team, and I couldn't seem to develop genuine relationships either. After a particularly tough week, he sat me down and shared a piece of information that changed everything. If you want to lead others, you have to learn how to lead yourself first. And that one sentence, it changed my entire approach to leadership. See, leading yourself well is the foundation of all leadership. If you can't lead yourself well, it is nearly impossible to inspire and lead others. Self-leadership is about doing the right things even when no one's watching. This is what integrity means. It's about setting personal standards and living them out consistently. This is how you build credibility and influence as a leader. Now, you might be asking yourself, what does leading yourself actually look like? Well, it's about showing up early, following through on commitments, and being disciplined even when it's hard. Think about those times when you had the option to cut corners and didn't. Those are the moments that define self-leadership. When you consistently model those behaviors, others notice and are more likely to trust you as a leader. Another thing you might ask yourself is, how does it build influence? How does the self-leadership build influence? Well, influence isn't about your title or your power, it's about trust. When you lead yourself well, people see you as one worth following. This is where integrity comes into play. When I was working in a restaurant, and if you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know how intense that pressure can get. I had a leader who always stayed calm under pressure. It wasn't a skill he developed overnight. It was his personal standard, and he held himself to that standard through self-leadership. Because of the discipline to hold himself to that standard, I trusted him through every situation. You can't ask other people to follow you if you haven't shown that you can't lead yourself. The reality of it is you've got to create standards and you have to stick to them. So something that probably doesn't get talked about a lot is the ripple of self-leadership. Self-leadership isn't just about you. It's the tone that you set for your entire team and organization. See, I was once working with a team where punctuality was a huge issue. I was the main cause of that. See, I didn't see it at the time, but I was showing up 15 minutes late to almost everything. I was scheduled to be on shift at 9 o'clock and I'd show up at 9:15, 9:30. And the reality of it is my team just didn't trust me. And see, that was causing the rest of the team not to want to show up on time. And that was causing a lot of issues. So one of my leaders challenged me. They said, if you want to hold us to this standard, you have to hold yourself to that standard. And so before long, I decided to make a change in my life. I decided to start showing up 15 minutes early to my shifts. And over time, still that trust took a while to build. And over time, my team started to trust me. And what ended up happening was the team ended up showing up 15 minutes early as well. And that took a couple months, but it's these small little things that create these ripple effects within your team to allow them to succeed and to build that trust with your team. So that way they can then execute on what you ask them to. See, people imitate what they see more than what they hear. Leading yourself creates that ripple effect that can change the entire culture. Now, my challenge to you guys this week is to develop a questionnaire for you to send to your team. Ask these 3 simple questions. What do I need to start doing? What do I need to keep doing? And what do I need to stop doing? And once you receive all that feedback from your team, take time and go through the results. Then identify one area where you can tighten up your self-leadership this week and watch how it impacts those around you. Again, 1 week is a very small amount of time. It's going to take a lot longer amount of time for you to develop that trust within your team. Remember, leading yourself first is the starting point of all great leadership. If you can master that, you're already ahead of the game. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and answer this question. What's one way you've seen self-leadership make a difference in your life or career? If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on next week's episode called The Relationship Bank Account. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.